Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to 2019. I am so excited that it's the new year. I am super pumped up for everything that 2019 is going to hopefully bring, and I will tell you why, because I have some stellar goals that I'm just so excited about, and I'm here today to share them with you. I have been so pumped about my goals, I can't even tell you. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen a couple of posts where I have mentioned how psyched I am about my 2019 goals. And as per usual on my channel, I like to talk about what my goals are for the month, but because it's January, we're talking about what my goals are for the year. The primary goal setting tool that I have used for this year, and this is not sponsored, they did not send me this is stuff I bought with my own money. These are the Cultivate What Matters Powersheets, and it is a thick book and it is a goal planner that really helps you kind of break down yourself almost. It's very interesting. There's Powersheets prep work, it's called, that you're supposed to do before the year begins to really help hone in on what is important to you and all sorts of different things. This is not a review of the 2019 Powersheets, but I just wanted to let you know that this is the tool that I'm using, and thanks to this tool I have come up with 10 goals for 2019 that I am really excited about. And just so you know, again, not sponsored, but the Cultivate What Matters Powersheets, as of the filming of this video, are on sale for like 25% off. So even though it's already January, you don't need January 1st to start your goals, right? So if you are interested in a tool like this, head over to their website. I'll have the link down below for you and pick up some Powersheets because I freaking love these things. They're amazing. Anyway, I thought it would be fun to go ahead and just share with you what my goals are for the year. Now, in the Powersheets, they give you an option for up to 10 goals, and with each goal you create an action plan and all that stuff. And then they also have these awesome things called tending sheets every month, and it helps you break down monthly goals, weekly goals, and daily goals to help you ultimately get to your annual goals, your big time goals. It is just a really cool tool, but because it allowed me to come up with 10 different goals, I took advantage and did in fact come up with 10 goals. Now, about my goals, some of them are pretty straightforward. Other ones are more like categorical goals almost, and within that category of an ultimate goal with no like set ending point, I guess you can say. Some of the goals, a lot of the goals don't have like a set, this number, this thing, this achievement means I've done it, but it is more so an ongoing flow of goals, and within those categories I can create little concrete SMART goals, if you will. So with that being said, here are my 2019 goals. All 10 of them color-coded because I'm that person. Goal number 1 will come as no surprise to any of you who have been here for any length of time, but it is to hit goal weight, but it is also to become my fittest, strongest, and healthiest self. As you guys may or may not know, I don't know what my new goal weight is, and that is still up in the air. I do not have a set number in mind for what is the end for me. I really don't. This year, my goal is to actually switch my focus from the number on the scale to fueling my body well and strengthening my body well. I want to focus on building muscle, gaining strength, doing things that will actually help me with my disease that I have, with the CMT, which will atrophy my muscles if I'm not diligent about building the muscles up. So my goal is kind of switching gears, and you guys have seen that in my recent content where I'm much more focused on body pump classes and things like that, and just fueling my body well instead of necessarily the number on the scale. Now, fear not. That does not mean that Weight Watchers is going away. That does not mean that my goal of losing weight is going away. It just means that the focus is shifting a little bit. So what does that ultimately mean in terms of content for this channel and also my weight loss goal? Well, my goal is I want to get into my healthy weight range, which from my height, which is 5'6", it is 155 pounds and below. And once I can get to 155, I have decided, I don't care what the scale says after that point. Now, I am about, depending on the day, 7 to 9 pounds away from that goal. I was a lot closer before my trip to Florida and Christmas and the holidays and all that jazz, but that's neither here nor there. It's a new year. What's done is done. We're moving on. So once I get down to 155, it is totally up to my body as to how the goal thing progresses. In the meantime, I'm focusing a lot more on strength training. I'm focusing a lot more on whole foods. I really kind of want to get away from the intense amount of artificial sweeteners that I've been using in things. I no longer use sugar-free coffee creamers. Instead, I have switched to Natural Bliss coffee creamer, which is all real things, or fat-free half and half. And I've just been slowly switching gears towards real food. If I want a real dessert, just have a freaking like real cookie instead of trying to find some diet substitute that's never gonna satisfy me anyway. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm doing. So ultimately, I don't know what this is all going to break down to, but my goal is to get within my healthy weight range this year and ultimately hit my goal, whatever that is. This year is the journey to goal without knowing where the final destination is. And I'm super, super excited about it. Goal number 2 is to cultivate an exceptional marriage. And you will notice that cultivate is a big theme for me in all of my goals this year. These are in fact the Cultivate What Matters Powersheets. And I'm on this journey this year of just making sure that I am cultivating and growing and taking care of the things that are truly important. And my marriage is so truly important. And so what does this look like in terms of goals? I don't really know, but my husband and I were on the same page. He actually sat me down this past weekend and he talked about some of his goals for the year. And so I busted out this book, which he didn't even know I had. And I said, you want to hear about my goals? I'll tell you about my goals. So now we both know what the other is after, and both of us agreed that cultivating an exceptional marriage is super, super important to us. So things that this might look like is prioritizing date night and making sure that we are actively trying to do things for one another. I haven't quite decided what that looks like for me yet, but I do know the ultimate goal is to make sure that my marriage is the best marriage that it can possibly be, and it is one of the things I value most highly in this world, and that is very, very important. My relationship with my husband comes after and only after my relationship with God. Other than that, it is my first priority. So if you guys are interested in hearing more about what we do to cultivate an exceptional marriage, if you're looking for relational type content as well, let me know if you'd be interested in something like that, or if my journey to an exceptional marriage is something that I should keep to myself. But if you guys would be interested in stuff like that, let me know. Goal number 3 will come as no surprise to any of you, and that is to continue to grow Diva and the Divine. I have seen so much growth in the last year, and it has made me so very happy, and it has me convinced that I am doing the right thing. But the only place to go from this point is forward. My goal is to continue to grow Diva and the Divine, both in numbers, in reach, and just in the type of content I am creating. I'm hoping to expand my content a little bit. I'm hoping to expand my reach, grow my numbers, make it a little bit more of a lucrative thing for me, but I also want to make sure that I am creating the right kind of content, helpful content, inspiring and positive content for you. So I do have some numbers that go with that. I would love to hit 25,000 subscribers this year. I'd love to inch past that 10,000 follower mark on Instagram. That is such a big deal milestone, just because it makes life a lot easier for influencers, because we get the ability to link things in our stories. That is mainly why I'm interested in that. And then I also want to make sure I'm still uploading 3 videos a week. I have all sorts of different goals within the Grow Diva and the Divine, and of course I cannot do that without you. So if you are a subscriber, thank you, thank you, thank you for your continued support. And if you're not, you know where that little red button is. Come on over and join the community. Goal number 4 is to create an environment, a home environment that is clean, tidy, organized, and comfortable, cozy, homey, beautiful. I am 100% positive that it is not an accident that the Marie Kondo Netflix show Tidying Up was released, I think, on January 1st of this year on Netflix. Raise your hand if you have seen it. Give me a little emoji or something down below telling me that you have seen it with your hand raised, because I've watched the entire season and I may or may not have already KonMari methoded my entire wardrobe and gotten rid of 72 items. 72. And I still have a completely functional wardrobe. Anyway, all of that is to say, a lot of people have environmental goals in terms of their home. Maybe they want to be more organized, get decluttered, maybe they want to decorate more. I kind of have a desire to do all of those things. I really want to buckle down, get rid of the stuff that we're not using. We've been living here for 3 years, and we are really getting to a point of we know what we're using and what we're not using, and it is time to just get rid of the stuff that we don't use. But more than that, I want to make sure that we put forth a little bit more effort in the home decor department, not to like over reclutter it or anything, but just to make it a beautiful space. I can't remember the Danish word, the hygge, is that how you say it? That like warm, cozy, comforting space. I want this place to be a welcoming home. I want my office to be a place that I am just so excited to be in and relaxed to be in because it's neat and organized and beautiful in a space that I'm truly proud of and in love with. And I want that to be throughout the entire home. I want our bedroom to be a wonderful place. I want our living space to be a place that when people come over, they feel so comfortable and so welcomed. And it's not like too medicinally clean and tidy, but you know what I'm saying. I just have environmental goals. Goal number 5 is one of those like categorical goals that I'm not really sure what it means, but I want to do it, and it is to get out of my comfort zone and say yes to new adventures. I am that type of person that is so very comfortable in her little comfort zone box, and I'll just hang out here all day long, all night long, and be perfectly content with that. But we all know that growth does not come from within our comfort zone. We have to step outside that box to really be able to expand our minds and expand everything. Everything that is growth takes place outside the comfort zone. So my goal this year is to get a little bit uncomfortable. And I don't exactly know what that means yet. I think I did a good job of doing a couple of things while we were on vacation that were new, exciting. It was a new adventure or something I wasn't necessarily comfortable with, and I did it anyway. And I was like, oh, look at you, already starting on your 2019 goal of getting a little adventurous, getting on with your adventurous self. And so I was really, really proud of that. But I want that to expand even further. I want that to expand into the content I create and put out there on the internet. There are plenty of ways for me to get a little bit more daring and really out of my comfort zone with that. And then just experiences and life and all that jazz. What does getting out of your comfort zone and saying yes to new adventures mean to you? Let me know in the comments below. I'd be very curious to know. Goal number 6 is to rekindle my love, my spark with music. I have just not been doing that. And it makes me sad because for years of my life, that's where my entire heart and soul was on the stage and singing and doing all these things. And you guys have seen, I still do sing, but I only sing in my church. And that is, of course, the place that I need to be doing it the most. 100%. My voice is a gift from God, and it is my job to use it to help bring others to Him. So I am thrilled to do that, but I want to do more. I miss practicing. I need to hone in on my piano skills. I have this beautiful piano that I paid for with money I made on Diva and the Divine, and I barely touch it unless it's to rehearse for singing during the weekends. That's seriously the only thing I do with it, and I want to bring that spark back. I really, really do. I was at my in-laws' house in Florida, and I was cleaning their kitchen, and I got this new pair of headphones for Christmas, like the really nice Beats solo headphones. And when I put them on, I accidentally hit the button, and it connected to my phone and just automatically started playing the music that was on my phone. And the first song was a song that was my song in one of my favorite shows that I have ever done. And like the joy that just filled me as I was literally dancing around the kitchen while I was cleaning because of this song. And then song after song after song was show tunes that I just haven't listened to in ages. And I'm like, man, this feels so good just to even listen to the music, because I just don't do music like I used to. And so I really want to get that back. Goal number 7 is to cultivate faith. Again, there is that word, cultivate, and that is just something that is so incredibly important. Remember how I said that my first priority, my biggest relationship was with my marriage, with my husband, and there was only one thing above that, and that was God? That's this goal. I want to make a more focused effort in regularly cultivating my faith, reading my Bible, doing devotionals, spending time in prayer and gratitude to the Lord and all of the blessings He has given me. And it is stuff like, it's something that I do, but it's something that I can never do enough. There will never be a time where I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be spiritually and I don't need to grow anymore. That time will never happen. It's always good to want to aspire to be closer to God. And that is one of my goals this year. Again, there will never be a set ending point for that, but it's something that I always want to be working towards. Goal number 8 is kind of the same sort of thing, and it is make an effort to continue to expand my mind. I like to think that I'm a pretty intelligent human being. I'm not gonna lie, it is one of the things that attracted my husband to me, is that I could keep up with him. And I was, you know, in advanced math and all this jazz and blah, 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 blah. And I don't have anything that actively, like, I'm not in school anymore. I'm not actively learning things anymore, and I want to change that. I want to make sure I am using this brain, again, a gift that God gave me, to the most potential that it has. I want to be reading more. So within that little bubble of an unclear goal, I have a couple of set goals. I want to start doing puzzles regularly, not like jigsaw puzzles, although that's not a bad idea, but like Sudoku puzzles, or maybe dive into crossword puzzles, like brain teaser apps on my phone and whatnot. And then I want to read 25 books this year, which I always say every year, but this year I'm actually going to do it. Like good books, books that teach me things and whatnot. And I just want to maybe go on like Skillshare.com or something and learn something new, like advance my Photoshop abilities, and just making sure that my mind is constantly expanding, that I'm constantly learning so I don't lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it, right? And I don't want to lose my mind, although some days I feel like I really am. But that's neither here nor there. Expand my mind, continue to learn and grow. A lot of growth happening this year. That is ultimately the goal. Goal number 9 is to bring back the blog. I know I said something about continuing to grow Diva and the Divine all the way back at goal number 2, but we all know that my blog, my actual website, kind of sat dormant this year compared to how I worked with my YouTube channel. And I just want to bring it back. I'm probably not going to bring it back to the same capacity as my YouTube channel, because that would take a lot of work. But I want to make sure it's not just sitting there taking up internet space. I want to make sure I'm actively using it and updating it at least once a week with valuable content for you guys, hopefully with supplemental content to the stuff that I create here on the channel, or content just for the people that like to read and don't necessarily like to watch videos. There will be more, I think, reviewy type stuff over there, as well as more in-depth type stuff over there. I have a couple of big blog posts in mind that are things I need to write out instead of get into the camera and word vomit. You know what I mean? I'm just really looking forward to the idea of bringing back the blog and making sure that my website, divaandthedivine.com, is a place that is as active as my YouTube channel. And then goal number 10 is to cultivate, once again, joy and happiness. And what was really interesting to me is this is actually something that my husband said to me too. We both had it written down on our pieces of paper, the word joy. And we didn't talk about it beforehand. It was something we both came up with on our own. And when we both brought it to the table, literally, this was over dinner on Sunday night, we brought our goals to the table and we both said to make sure we spark joy, find joy, continue to look for joy, because it is so easy to just end up in the routine and let the green monster of envy come in, let hard things stress us out, and it is so easy to forget that we are so blessed and that we have so much good in this world and in this life that we need to focus on that. Like, we should be so joyful. And so I want to do things that cultivate joy and happiness in my life. And I also want to use that one as a gratitude practice, making sure I'm celebrating. That's one of my words for this year, because I couldn't come up with just one. So one of my words, thanks to a sermon that I heard last weekend in church, is to celebrate. Because what if we celebrated the small things in life, like the fact that our car started, or the fact that we have a roof over our heads when it's 15 degrees outside, or the fact that I have good, healthy food in my refrigerator. Little things that are actually big things we forget to celebrate because we take them for granted, and then they lose their joy, they lose their magic, which is something that they really are. They are truly things that we need to be joyful for. So I just want to make sure I'm actively doing things that spark joy in my life, that keep joy at the forefront of my life, because one of my goals is to be an incredibly positive and uplifting person. And I want you guys to see me as that incredibly joyful person. I want to bring joy to you too. So the first part of that is making sure that I have the joy within myself. So there you go. I know this was a long video, but I wanted to make sure I put it out there. Those are my 2019 goals, and I am so excited to get going on them. I have been working very hard, even within the last week or so, just making sure that I'm setting myself up right, and I'm starting slow, but still kind of diving in all at the same time. And I'm just so very looking forward to what 2019 is going to bring. Let me know in the comments below what your goals for 2019 are, because I would love to be able to help you achieve them by creating content that will cater to your goals. So do not hesitate to tell me what your goals are in the comments below. If you like this video, please, please, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that little subscribe button so you get notified every time I upload something new, and you will be a part of the Diva and the Divine community. We would love to have you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!